Well, hello, friends. Welcome back to the car. It's bright and shiny here in Sweden, and I'm out driving in the middle of the day, just taking some big bulky trash to the big bulky trash place. And I thought I would stop here and talk a little bit because this is actually video number 1000 on this channel. And after you make 1,000 videos, I guess you should stop and reflect a little bit. So that's what we're gonna do. Um, so I started uploading videos on the channel at the start of 2019, a couple of months into the Serenity OS project. And I was a couple of months out of drug rehab at the time. And it was a very rough and confusing time in my life. And I remember struggling to adapt to life after drugs, basically, and doing a lot of introspection, reflection, and generally having a pretty open mind about life, as I recall it. It was a healthy period. And one of the things that I thought about at that time was how I felt like I never really developed public speaking ability. I always ran away from public speaking opportunities at work or in school, and I didn't like being on camera. I always avoided that as much as I could. So I thought, hey, what if I were to try to change things up and get better at that, right? And it would be kind of a way to challenge myself to improve somehow. And it was coming from a good place, I think. And I remember practicing in the car, just driving around and talking to myself, and sitting at the computer just talking to myself, not recording anything, just practicing talking to see if I could just build up enough momentum so that I would be able to sustain a narrative for a long time. And it was pretty rough in the beginning. I struggled and had a lot of dead air, couldn't think of what to say. But it's something that I got better at as I got more practice. And yeah, eventually I started recording videos. I think I probably threw away the very first recordings because after listening back to them, they were so clumsy, and I would get stuck on like absolutely trivial problems repeatedly and get really nervous. But I kept doing it anyway, and eventually started uploading my recordings, right? And those are the early OS hacking videos on the channel. Very clumsy videos, very shy, confused. But if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have developed this comfort with speaking that I have today, that I really don't take for granted, because I can go into my channel history myself and look where it started and see just how much better it is today, how much more free flowing it is. And it's a nice thing. Like I'm a big fan of documenting incremental improvement like that, so that you can see it like juxtaposed on top of each other, and see like, wow, this is how far we've come. And yeah, the channel has been going steadily ever since then. Basically, I've been putting out something every week. I've been doing the monthly update videos every month without fail. And at some point I started getting help from other people making videos, and a bunch of folks have joined for the monthly videos, and that's been absolutely great. But yeah, for the most part, the videos or the content on the channel is just me at the computer doing stuff. And yeah, in the first year and a half or whatever, I was also commuting. So there was a lot of car videos, because for a while I was trying to do a car video every day. And in some ways I missed that. But in other ways, there was a kind of pressure every morning to think of something to talk about, which it's strange. But now that I think back on it, it wasn't necessarily a source of enjoyment for me. It was more like a source of stress that, oh shoot, I gotta think of something to talk about. And then I remember my commute was like 50 minutes or something like that. And sometimes I would record for 20 minutes and then just get stuck, or feel like, oh, that was a bad recording, and then I only had another half hour left to drive, so I had to start a new recording and talk about something that was more interesting, and hopefully be able to record something by the time I got to work. And well, I know that a lot of people enjoyed the car videos, but there was a feeling of stress underneath them that was a little bit weird, because I was just pushing myself to make them. And I think over time, like, the initial motivation that I had for making videos, which was to just get better at public speaking, get more comfortable, be less shy, all of those things have improved. And so a lot of the original motivation I had for making videos are like tasks that have been taken care of, or at least are less pressing issues at this point. So my motivation has had to change, right? And it's become more about just sharing knowledge, sharing my vision and my ideas for Serenity OS, or helping people see that you can take a complicated task and just attack it, and everything is incremental. Like, you start somewhere and then you work your way from there. And I know that's something that I've struggled with a lot in the past, when I would look at some seemingly insurmountable task and I would think, oh man, I can't do this. I have no idea how to do it. And then watching somebody else do the task, and seeing that they go at it one piece at a time, just like I would have. It's something that I always found really helpful in seeing other people do things. So I wanted to share that type of thing with people. And when I've worked with senior people in my career, a lot of the really smart people that I met at Nokia, at Apple, I learned so much from them. And it was so helpful to be in the same team, in the same room, in the same environment, working on the same project together with a bunch of people who were really smart, who knew a lot more than I did about random stuff. And just being able to observe them and see how they work, it allowed me to grow tremendously. And I think this channel has become sort of a way for me to pay that forward and share the things I've picked up and from other people, and share it with the rest of the world. And I like to imagine that it's more effective because I make my videos available to the whole world. You don't have to go and work at Apple to get the same type of information that I would be giving you if we met there. If you're willing to engage with it. Anyway, another thing that I've been thinking about more recently is consumption patterns, and like the way I myself watch YouTube. And I put out a lot of long videos, right? Like, oftentimes more than 1 hour long, just programming content. And I think I never put out anything that I think is like bad content, because I delete, if I make something that's uninteresting or bad in my view, then I don't upload it. But I recognize that there's a lot of hours of content on the channel, and sometimes I worry that people would sit and just watch my videos passively without really taking anything in, and just using it as entertainment or distraction from what they should be doing. And I've been looking at my own consumption patterns recently, and I realized that I was watching a lot of videos about things I thought was interesting, but I wasn't really retaining information. And I discovered this when I had been watching something, and then I tried to convey to my wife what I had learned, and I could barely recollect information I had been super interested in like half an hour earlier. I feel like I could reconstruct maybe a quarter of it. And that, I don't know, that was kind of unpleasant to realize that I had been kind of passively asleep in front of YouTube, if that makes sense. And I don't want to, I don't want to sit like that and consume information without retaining information. And I don't want other people to get stuck doing that on my channel either. But at the same time, there's only so much I can do, because I enjoy the format I'm using. It's fairly easy to do. I just, record myself working and try to narrate the thought process as best I can. And it seems to resonate with thousands of people. So there is something effective about it. And I like watching other people do the same thing. So I don't have an issue with the format I'm doing, but at the same time, like when I contrast that with my own consumption pattern of watching but not retaining, I feel confused or conflicted or something about it. And for the last 2 days, I've been trying this thing where if I watch something on YouTube, I don't let myself be passive, so I have to take notes while watching a video, unless it's like a music video or a song or something, then I would just put that on and listen to it. But for anything where somebody's speaking and I'm listening, then I've been taking notes. And already I found two things. First thing was I'm way less likely to open any videos because it feels like, oh shoot, well, I would click on that, but if I have to sit and take notes, I don't know. But the second thing I noticed was that the videos that I did watch, I felt afterwards like I retained a lot more information. And not only could I recall it better, but I also had it written down. So I feel like if I go and look at those notes in a few days or weeks, I'll probably have a stronger recollection of it as well. Although, that remains to be tested. But it is something that I'm concerned about, I guess is my point. And I'm trying to explore this for myself to figure out what is the right way to consume YouTube, and how can I ensure that the things I do watch in video form, that I am actually enriching myself with this stuff instead of just entertaining myself. And I guess I would kind of pose a question perhaps to you, the viewer. Do you feel like you retain information that I relay in my videos? Do you take notes? I hadn't been taking notes of anything while watching videos before, and I would be curious to know if somebody has been doing this for years. And I wonder if there's something that could be improved about the format of my videos without compromising the, I guess, the authenticity of them. But something about the format that could be changed to make them more likely to relay good information, make that information stick better, and maybe not encourage people to watch passively, I guess. I don't know. But I also recognize that there's a lot of people who like to watch my type of videos as background content. So they just put it on, leave it in the background, and it's just some chatter, somebody hacking away, like sort of like sitting around coworkers and You got a coworker who narrates everything he's doing, which sounds like a really irritating coworker, but if that helps somebody um, enjoy working at home or something like that, then that's great. And I'd actually be curious to know what you would find, or if you have any suggestions for how to improve the content for your use case. Like, how could it be better? I know sometimes I've thought about adding like a comfy like a lo-fi hip hop beat or something like that to the videos, but I never do it because you can never pick something that everybody would like. So I think it's better if somebody wants to have music underneath my chatter, then they can just layer that themselves, right? Anyways, I'm just babbling in various directions here, and I need to be getting on. But yeah, 1,000 videos, very, very cool. And we almost made it to 40,000 subscribers. It's coming soon. Um, and I'm gonna keep making videos, but I'd like to make better videos, and I don't know how yet. So that's something that remains to be figured out. But I guess thanks everybody for watching, and I hope that you like the content I've made so far, and I hope you will like the future content as well. And as with anything, I will try to improve incrementally instead of making big changes, because I think that's my preferred way of doing things. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you all next time.